Okay. We are live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Screen Heroes. I believe this is episode 43. So that's pretty cool. We're getting up there. We're going to reach 50 before the end of the year.
That's so exciting. We have something big planned for 50.
Do we?
Yeah.
I can't wait to find out about it.
It's our award show.
Oh.
We're having an awards show. These guys and me will all be there. Some of our favorite guests are coming back to join us. The viewers and everybody who's been helping us out with voting is going to get special prizes. And we may even dress up fancy. We haven't decided. But
Okay.
That's exciting.
Yeah, totally. So we are Screen Heroes. We didn't really do the introduction.
Oh my God. We are?
That's good to know. I'm glad you told us.
I am Derek. I have my
Which screen hero are you?
I'm the Derek one. And I have
Is that Egon or is that Ray? Bankman?
I actually think that's Posh Spice.
Okay.
Posh.
I like that better, yeah.
I don't know. And I, of course, have with me my two regular hosts, Ryan.
Hello.
And Ray.
Do you have irregular hosts too?
Well, sure. I mean, like
we all eat enough fiber here. So.
well, no, we have hosts who aren't on a regular basis. You know, like John, for example, who joined us last week.
He's a 3-time guest. Is that really a host? Are we getting
Guest
replaced?
host. I know. I think he's.
I mean, it's always good to have a backup plan. You never really know.
He doesn't like arguing with me, so.
So for those
he doesn't like you taking the attention away.
Never.
For those who are joining us live, we are live every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Central on Twitch at twitch.tv/griddaily. You can follow us to get updates and see what we're going to talk about next. I am loading the chat. I was apparently not logged in, so the chat is now loading. But we are live. So thank you for those of you, not those of us, those of you who join us for the chat live. It's really a lot of fun. We get to answer your questions and say your comments and converse.
Yeah,
with you, and
we're getting hit on.
We are getting hit on. So It's Mother Uckers is a regular listener. They were very talkative last week. So thank you for joining us again. And I think we are hotties.
I think that might be a comment on the color balance changes that we did for our live stream.
We did. We tried to do some color. So it depends how you're watching.
We all had jaundice last week. If you watched the live stream, we all went to the
doctor.
Glow. took some pills, and we're good to go now.
It was not that serious. So we have been experimenting with some new technology. For those who just listen to the podcast and don't,
you have not been affected at all.
You probably haven't been affected at all by this. But for those of you who watch us, there's a couple of different ways to do that. One is on Twitch, as I said. The other is on our YouTube channel. Any successful video that's captured gets exported to our YouTube channel. And it's been really hit or miss. But we've done a couple of different things to get some new equipment and change up what we have. And so I think we're going to be pretty good moving forward. For those who are watching the Twitch version, you should see a color difference. We adjusted some color stuff to make this a little bit better, make it look more like we actually look in real life. And then for those watching this on YouTube, if things worked out, we're testing something brand new tonight. Things might look completely different from that. So we'll have to see what happens. Yeah. So okay. And It's Mother Uckers is saying that their fetish involves not jaundice.
So perfect. We're right up their alley now.
So anyway, this week we are pitching our own individual DC Entertainment TV shows for the CW specifically. So for those who don't know what that might entail, the CW has right now 5 if you count iZombie DC TV shows. Between Supergirl on Mondays, Flash, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow.
The Super Flaro Legends verse.
That's right.
I love it.
That's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah.
We can call the episode that.
That's a little bit of a mouthful, but
I don't know if we can use that as a keyword.
Yeah.
We'll try. We'll
try. So we wanted to create and pitch shows that would fit into this universe in some way. Yes, Supergirl does not actually exist in the same Earth as our other CW characters do, but we know there'll be at least one crossover this season. We had one last season with Flash. We know she's on one of the Earths in that universe. So our stuff
there will be singing, apparently.
Yes, there will. Why will they be singing?
Well, Melissa Benoist, who plays Supergirl, and Grant Gustin, who plays Flash, were both on Glee. So they decided that one of the episodes is just going to be those two crossing over. and they're going to have a musical episode. And we have a couple friends who are really just not looking forward to that.
Joss Whedon is directing it, so
And-
I mean, it's going to be not confirmed, but we're hoping.
We're hoping. Because then it'll be good.
Then it'll be good. It won't be good if he doesn't direct it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have faith in the CW. If he can't work out something, I still have faith.
Well, that's nice of you.
Yeah, I like what they've done. So we're going to be pitching shows that fit in with that universe. We don't really have a lot of rules other than that. It doesn't have to be specifically in the same Earth as Arrow and Flash, but it could be. It doesn't have to be in the same Earth as Supergirl, but could be, and so forth. So I think we'll probably...
Well, let me ask you guys this. Did you guys pick your show based off of a certain character, or did you pick it off of an Earth we've already seen?
I picked a specific character, but my character will exist in one of the Earths that we've seen.
Okay.
I picked my character and hadn't put a lot of thought into which Earth it's going to be on. I think it could fit into the main Earth. I don't think that would be an issue.
Okay. Yeah, mine's going to be in the main Earth, but I started with a character, and instead of saying like, oh, Flash has been to a couple different ones, we could just have a show here.
Yeah, luckily Flash is like the connective tissue for all the different Earths, so we can just have
They were
him.
so happy when they got him. They were like,
yeah.
time travel.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that worked out well for them, I think. So
Dimension travel.
Mine actually exists on not Earth 1. So I'm not going to tell you which one yet.
Yours is on Jay Garrick's Earth because you love Jay Garrick so
it's,
much.
it's actually not.
Okay.
It's not.
Earth
Not.
3.
I think we should rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first.
I always go first, so I think one of you guys should go first.
Okay, so Ray and I will rock, paper, scissors. So you go rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just checking. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you can
that
go
could have gone
first.
really badly if you guys had like tied like 6 times in a row. We're trying to get this podcast done.
Yes, the podcast had extreme, hand slapping action.
Yeah. Authentic hand slapping sounds.
So Ray, I think then you should go first.
I'm good with that. Now, do you guys want to have me lay out the entire pitch, everything?
Oh, maybe just start with the character. I don't know. How do you want to do it, Derek?
All
Do
right.
kind of like a general synopsis, who your character is and where it exists, and then we'll each do that before we take a deep dive.
Sounds good. So, I went with Zatanna. She's one of my favorite characters in DC Universe. The Flash has called her the most powerful character in the DC Universe. Now, he did this not in TV, of course, but what is he doing?
Responding to chat.
But
I'm
in the
in chat.
comics. Oh, okay. That's fine. But in the comics. So I wanted a female-led show, kind of balance it out, and I wanted a way to bring back Constantine. I think CW is still really nervous about a weird thing. I think CW is very nervous about picking up a show that was canceled. So
Sure. Yeah.
bringing him in as almost a, male lead the entire time, I thought would be good too. So Zatanna, stage magician / most powerful being in the DC universe on the regular Earth.
And she may team up with the NBC version of Constantine from time to time.
NBC and also CW
Well,
because
yes.
it's been an Arrow. So.
Yes,
right.
exactly.
I loved him, by the way, so I'm totally
Yeah,
cool with
Matt
that.
Ryan stays because I want him around.
So Derek is up next.
All right, so for me, mine takes place on Supergirl's Earth, whichever number that is. I guess we don't know for a fact that it's not the Jay Garrick Earth. They never specifically said that, but
So his show could be on Jay Garrick Earth.
Yeah.
now that you bring it up, I guess it's possible. We don't really know for sure. I would think that she would be aware of a Flash in that case because Jay Garrick is older and would have been doing it for a while. So
Dirty.
I think it's safe to assume that they're different Earths.
Probably, yeah.
But
It seems likely that, she had no idea who the Flash was. And,
right.
Yeah.
So this either
Can't
way.
try to call him the Blur.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's, I don't think that that's the same Earth. So I guess Supergirl's Earth 4 at this point, I think.
Yeah, because Jay Garrick was Earth 3.
Right? So we're on Earth 4. And the reason I picked that Earth is basically because the CW has come out and said that Supergirl they don't have plans for Supergirl to merge permanently with Earth 1 in the foreseeable future. So I want her to kind of have some other people in her universe so it doesn't have to be a massive crossover event every time she teams up with somebody.
That's a good plan.
So I picked Starfire. Another female hero, I thought that it would be
Another alien
hero too, which was actually kind of an afterthought. I hadn't even considered that when I came up with the idea at first. But yeah, Starfire is most well known from her time on the Teen Titans. She is an alien. She can fly, and she has some really cool powers and abilities. And basically, I saw this as an opportunity for Kara and Starfire, in this case Corey, to be able to team up on a regular basis and have similar personalities. They're both bright, kind of positive characters.
Now, will you go with the 1980s, 1990s version where she's hypersexualized?
No, I was going to do really like the New 52 Amanda Connor version.
That's a good call.
Where she's still, Kara knows what it's like being a human. She understands all of it because she grew up here. She might as well, from a social perspective, be human.
Yeah.
Corey, who's the actual name of Starfire, she's not like that. She didn't get here till she was an adult. So there's lots of nomenclatures and things, kind of like Drax, that like doesn't really make a lot of sense. And that can be really fun, especially with banter back and forth.
Well, in the 80s and 90s, they screwed it up all the time because they would just have her make out with random guys, and they said that that's how she gained knowledge. Like, that's how she learned new languages, was just making out with somebody.
Yeah, she still has that ability in the New 52.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not used anywhere near as much.
Well, that's good. And I want to point out, I'm sure you already know this, but Starfire's real name is not just Corey, it's Coriander.
It's Coriander. She goes by Corey a lot in the New 52, though.
Well, yeah, she's always gone by Corey because coriander is a spice, and some guy got really bored just looking at a spice rack.
He's like, what name should we go with?
But it's spelled really cool, though, because it's spelled with a K, and there's an apostrophe R at the end.
That does make it much cooler,
It's totally a cool way to spell a spice. It's like time is spelled with a Y. Like, okay, whatever. But anyway, the other advantage here by using Starfire is you can bring in these other Teen Titans characters. So since you're in a universe with Superman, there's the possibility of there being other major DC heroes like Nightwing. And Starfire's had a long history of relationships with Dick Grayson and other members of the Teen Titans. You could bring Raven in, you could bring in Cyborg if you wanted to, but that's unlikely since he's in the movies. But you can bring in Nightwing and Raven and some of these Beast Boy and some of these other Teen Titans characters.
Terra.
Yeah, that'd be a cool one to say. I didn't consider that. So that's kind of my overall premise is she comes to Earth. She's more or less been exiled there. She was in one of the stories, she was sold into slavery to kind of make peace for her world because she's originally royalty, and she escapes from that. And I'm going to use that storyline so that way you could have some big bads come in later.
Some tragic stuff.
So neither of you picked the ones I would have guessed. I actually told It's Business Time Motherfuckers ahead of time. I was like, these are what I think they're going to pick. So if they pick these...
So what did you think we were going to pick?
I thought you were going to pick Nightwing.
Yeah, okay.
And I thought you were going to pick Power Girl.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, Nightwing would show up in my show.
And when you said that, I was like, oh, I was this close.
So close.
And I want Power Girl to be on Supergirl. I want there to be a whole
That's why I thought
season-long
you were
arc
gonna go
of
with
the
it.
clone of Maxwell Lord getting involved, and I want to see that happen, but I don't think Power Girl will ever be able to sustain her own show while
tough.
Supergirl is also going on.
There's too many similarities. I mean, literally.
They have the same name. You can't do that.
That would be tough. So, all right, Ryan, what's yours?
So I went kind of deep cuts into DC lore, and I changed mine from what I was going to do because I took our podcast seriously and said, okay, I need something that's more CW than what I wanted to do. Instead of just pitching my dream television series for DC, I'm going to try and go CW. So my series is called Sprout. It's about the character Tefe Holland.
Okay.
Who is the daughter of Alec Holland and Abby Arcane.
Yeah.
So Alec Holland is Swamp Thing, if you don't know. And also the daughter kind of Constantine, and a random demon. So lots of parents. So yeah, I mean, this was a way I think our shows would go really well together.
Yeah, they would.
We didn't have to give Constantine his own show, but he could spend enough time between the two shows.
Totally.
And I actually thought that at first, Zatanna and Swamp Thing don't always get along. They kind of antagonize each other. So he would be, a reluctant sidekick to her every once in a while. Of course, that much CGI, he couldn't be in every single episode when she's also doing magic. But he would definitely show up.
Yeah. Well, in my universe, it's going to be more. The show that I want to do is something a lot different than Arrow and what's already on there. Besides dealing with magic and mystical stuff, it's going to be more family, like a family thing. It's not going to be like any sitcom or something that's like about a family.
It's like Supernatural, where the core is the family.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And
I wanted to see Full House with Swamp Thing.
I mean, as great as that sounds.
That sounds amazing.
As great as that sounds, I'm not sure it would work well. Anyway, that kind of threw me off. Yeah, I would watch it too. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, some of it's gonna focus on.
Sorry, Dogsthorpe says Family Matters.
Family Matters is Swamp Thing. Yeah, Carl is gonna be Swamp Thing, and we're gonna have who's Urkel gonna be? Urkel's gonna be Constantine probably, and
that seems unfair.
well, whatever. Anyway, it's gonna partially gonna focus on Tefe having to deal with her urges to basically kill all humans, but also to not kill all humans, which is what she was taught, but her instinct, the demon in her, is telling her that killing all the humans is the best way to take care of the green and the red, which she has powers over.
Yeah.
So it's going to be kind of an internal struggle.
For Futurama jokes.
Probably. But then also...
Everything just tastes purple?
Some of it is going to be in the past kind of showing how she came to be with that whole weird Constantine... Abby, Swamp Thing.
She's not going to be stuck on an island for 5 years.
No, there's going to be none of that. No, right. But I mean, nobody in the CW verse has been stuck on an island for 5 years, so really that's not... Except for Shadow, and I guess...
Her corpse has been on
there
for 5 years. Her corpse
has been there, for 5 years. And maybe Deathstroke, because he's locked up there. But
got a couple weeks vacation in Sterling.
That's true, he did. But yeah, so that's... I don't want to get too into it until we start really digging in. But yeah, so that's... where I'm going.
It's Mother Uckers wants her to be 16 and in high school.
I mean, I didn't really pick an age range, but I'm okay with that. I feel like that's 16 to like 20 was kind of where I was thinking it was going to be. I think that would add a little bit more to it, since if you know anything about Swamp Thing or DC canon, then you know that Swamp Thing controls is the spirit of the green, basically, which is all plant life in the world, and it has been shown to be in other worlds in some cases. And
it might as well be like the power of Mother Nature.
He's like Gaia, basically.
Right, yeah, that was it, yeah.
And then she not only can control the green also, but she also can control the red, which is basically flesh and like animal matter. So she's very, very, very powerful. And I think as a 16-year-old with that kind of crazy power, and you're being around Constantine, who's kind of, we all know who Constantine is, and Swamp Thing, who's like this monster, and Abby Arcane is like going to be the kind of the glue that keeps it from being too off the rails.
Right.
So
I like it. That's very cool. I'm not too surprised. I figured you were going to go Swamp Thing.
That was what I was going to do. But then I was like, no, it's CW. It's got to be like teenager, and it's got to be like, there's got to be this kind of thing in the CW show. I
mean, to be fair, bringing in a non-teenager as a main character might be a nice way to mix things up a bit. So.
Well, I mean, Arrow isn't a teenager. Barry isn't a teenager. Supergirl is not a teenager.
They might as well.
So, I mean, I want to go like actual teenager.
There's very little, other than the fact that Ollie is now mayor, there's very little about the three of them that makes them not teenagers.
I mean, him being mayor is a pretty huge thing.
Yeah, but that just happens.
And Grant being like a CSI, working in a police station. There's not a lot of teenagers doing that, probably.
No, but I'm talking from a personality and emotional maturity perspective. They're all
that's true.
Fairly young.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, I think we have some pretty cool ideas.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm excited about it. I like how you guys, both of yours, can kind of tie into each other.
I like how all three of ours are female-led shows.
That is interesting. Yeah, because we didn't really think about that, but we all picked that, which I think is kind of cool. It adds a nice balance, because right now there's a lot of male heroes. I mean, on Arrow it mixes things up a little bit, but spoiler alert, without Laurel,
Arrow kills them off pretty fast.
Right?
Yeah. Anybody that anybody likes, except for Felicity, is immediately murdered.
And then, Flash, of course, you have Barry, and the next person to really get powers was Wally, sort of. And
For one episode.
Spoiler. I think that's going to come back, though,
I hope so.
Based on the alchemy whole thing.
We'll see.
But,
we'll do a mid-show.
We need to.
Mid-season
there's already a lot to talk about. So.
And then on Legends of Tomorrow, I mean, Adam, Brandon Roth's the lead, and you had Cold, but
it was a team of 7, and 2 of them were women.
Right.
So 5-2. It's not necessarily a fair balance. It's
Now there's
like
one
our
woman.
Justice League.
Now there's one, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Until they meet up with the Justice Society of America,
Right.
there's at least one on.
Well, there's-
that
yeah,
team.
Stargirl and
Stargirl.
Vixen.
Vixen is on it too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
So that's really cool. So all right, do you guys want to take a little bit deeper dive, kind of show what you had planned for season 1?
Okay.
Did you guys do casting at all with any
I
of
did
yours?
casting.
I did not.
Okay.
I wanted to get kind of the CW has done a really good job at picking lesser known actors. I know that Melissa as Supergirl was from Glee, but she wasn't like a major well-known
neither
star. So
neither her nor Grant Gustin were
right.
on Glee for a long time.
I mean, even the casting of Superman, he's a much more well-known TV actor as when he was cast as Superman. So
I did some casting, but I struggled
Me
with
too.
it because I'm not I don't keep up on like tween
Right.
idols, so it's it is tougher.
I could really confuse people, and when Nightwing shows up, have that be Tom Welling.
Yeah, that would be pretty confusing.
But I think that's just because I like Tom Welling. So
I think that's probably accurate.
yeah, that was as far as I thought.
Yeah. Is his butt nice enough though? Because isn't the whole joke about Nightwing that like everybody's joking about?
I mean, you put him in the right suit.
Get some padding back there, whatever.
I submit to you for approval, Joseph Gordon-Levitt for Nightwing.
Yeah, he was great
Right?
in,
Yeah.
in Dark Knight Rises.
mean Robin?
So, Robin, yeah, we just call him Robin.
Don't
Wait.
use that
So
name.
we can have Robin be Nightwing,
Yeah.
and we can call him Robin
Yeah.
while he's Nightwing because that's his
perfect.
name. It's
It's
great.
like Robinception.
Robinception. Now, I just want to point out that It's Mother Uckers came to my defense because we were talking about age of these characters, and Ollie, of course, he's mayor, so he's an adult, but Ben on Parks and Rec was an 18-year-old mayor, teenager, Icetown.
Yeah, Icetown. Look at that. Ollie's not going to make that mistake. He made this chocolate statue of Laurel. I mean, jeez. Obviously, he's on the right path.
You're right.
How did he get funding for that? He's mayor for like 20 seconds, and he's like, I need $100,000 for a chocolate statue
Right.
of my
And we're going to have it sculpted by a
ex-girlfriend.
3-year-old. That's the real trick for this whole thing.
All right, so let's take a little bit deeper of a dive. Now, do we want to go in the
Got
same
it.
order? Do we want to mix stuff
That's
up?
fine. We could go in the same order.
All right, Ray.
Okay, so I did look into some casting, and really all I did was cast my main hero, my main villain. Luckily, her love interest / antagonist is already cast for me. Matt Ryan's doing a perfectly good job as Constantine.
I'm keeping him too. So
Yeah, screw that.
Big surprise, right?
Awesome. He's awesome. And then I cast Swamp Thing too. It'd be really cool if we end up having
I don't
the
think we
same-
will, but I
Okay.
hope so. That'd be
Well,
awesome.
Swamp Thing is my biggest named actor, so
Vincent D'Onofrio.
no.
I'd be okay with that. Actually,
That's not terrible.
Right?
So, for season 1, she's already established. She is a stage magician. That's how she makes her money in the comics. I figured, why change that here? I'm not going to make her a barista for Cisco to run into.
I was a barista 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
There's different. See, she has different lives. So she was just a barista once.
Just
Just once.
well, she's a stage magician here. She performs at local clubs. She has crappy gigs and she has good gigs, just like every other performer. But she's also had the magic since she was a small child. So there's no origin story. We could do some flashbacks, very similar to the way Supergirl did
yeah.
everything, but nothing like that. Now, since she also works in the dark and in the shadows, she doesn't need a secret identity. She doesn't need a mask. So that's good too. You don't have to explain that. There is no government so far. No government involved. No Cadmus. No Argus. No
Cadmus is in,
DEO.
Supergirl, though.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So nothing like that so
Nothing.
far. Nothing. Well,
I am curious. Is her dad around?
yes, her dad is alive.
Okay. Because he's a cool character.
Yeah,
too,
he is.
So.
Yeah, I wanted to keep him alive. Of course, it immediately shoots a character into time for growth as a person when they don't have a parent. So my first idea was to have his death be really fresh and have her on like a revenge plot for the first season, but I don't want that. I think that's better for like season 2 or season 3
Probably.
because you get to see the character who she is.
Well, I'm just happy that with your show,
Normal.
it'll make every show we get to see the person's parent, the hero's parents die.
Yeah.
In every show.
Every
Every
show.
show.
You can't have a CW show without having that.
In all fairness.
Mine doesn't have that. So.
Okay. That's true.
Because she was sold into slavery.
So her parents are still good.
It turns out Dean Cain isn't dead either, so...
Right.
You know, it all
Now,
works out.
of course, I guess her planet in some of the storylines does explode.
Her planet. Her actual parents are gone, but her Earth parents...
I meant Starfires.
That's true. I
Because
was talking Supergirl.
all alien superhero homeworlds have to blow up.
Yep.
That's the only reason people come to Earth. Otherwise, they're like, we just stay. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't we stay?
Earth sucks, man.
Earth sucks.
Yeah, we'll just stay.
But
on
we're
the
not
planet.
blowing up anytime
That's
soon.
true.
So
That's
we have
true.
that going for us.
So she is facing off her big bad during the first season as Dr. Light. And I chose
that's a good
him because he is often mocked. Yet the two of them have crossed paths before in the comics. He is the third guy to hold the Dr. Light title, Arthur Light. He's a brilliant scientist. He is an all-around arrogant jerk. And he actually, in the comics, if you didn't know, Turning Point, he rapes Sue Dibney, who is Elongated Man's wife. And that is what starts off the Identity Crisis book, which is considered one of the best in the last 15, 20 years of comics. Started the whole Infinite Crisis and Crisis on Multiple Earths, and that storyline right there, that action by Dr. Light, started everything. So he's a pretty bad guy, and in the comics, Zatanna takes him down by mind wiping him, and she doesn't wipe his memories. She wipes his mind. He is an invalid after. So Zatanna can be pretty dark, and I just thought starting with a huge big bad for her that can manipulate the light and everything that people use to that manipulate light themselves. He could take down Green Lantern because the ring. He could take down Wonder Woman because of the lasso.
Mm-hmm.
So
Dr. Light is not the character that was on Flash, right?
no, Linda Park was a different Dr. Light, but since
But
we're
still
in a,
Dr. Light.
yes,
Okay.
but since we're in a
confused.
different universe, this is a much more powerful character than what Linda Park was.
Right, because that was Linda Park from Earth 2.
Right.
Right.
So,
Yeah, and Earth 1 at a certain point.
well,
She wore the suit.
Well, she wore the suit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just figured that the whole first season, she's going after and getting aware of Dr. Light. I wanted Dr. Light to be played by a TV actor, and this is, in case that whole other show he's got going on bombs, but I think he'd be great, and that's Andrew Lincoln from The Walking
I'm
Dead.
going to say that the show's probably not going to bomb anytime soon.
No,
but
Walking Dead's not going to bomb
It's going to
anytime
be canceled
soon.
any day now.
Any day.
It was renewed for a season 8, 3 minutes after season 7 started, so...
Dogsthorpe says that Dr. Light makes him want to play Mega Man. So.
Yeah, that's accurate. Everything makes me want to play Mega Man. So.
Everything.
That's
Well, maybe
true.
not everything, but most things.
Most of it. Okay.
Because there's literally a man in Mega Man for everything. So, there could be
Yeah,
a Light Man.
Superman.
There's probably a Derek Man.
Is there a Batman?
I mean, that's one of the few. I think that was already taken.
That's already taken.
But, maybe in Mega Man 17 that is
Sure.
coming out next year.
Of course.
So yeah, that's
That's yours?
yeah.
Cool.
Throughout the season, she's going to come across some of her buddies in the Justice League Dark. Like I said, Swamp Thing will come to her aid a couple times, and Constantine will be there most likely.
Is he going to be a love interest?
Yeah, definitely. But because he and she rarely have years-long relationships, it's very much a back and forth, hostile, love-hate kind of thing. It's fun to watch. But boring at the same time. And also, Constantine is a philandering bisexual. So
True.
he just loves to be with a lot of people. And Zatanna's not really like that.
So I guess at this point he broke up with Zed from Constantine season 1.
Yes.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
I like them
sorry.
together.
Sorry.
Oh well. Or he's just cheating on her.
Yeah.
Which is not
that.
against his character at all.
No,
so
it's not. It works for Constantine.
he just does what he wants.
Doc Rev wants to know if there's a One Punch Man in Mega Man.
There is not a Saitama in Mega Man. There
Not
should
yet.
be, though.
So
But
that's pretty cool.
I also want her to come across Madame Xanadu.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
Just for a one episode thing, like, there's this rumor that there's another female magician in town, and
Is she going to be, like, real old in this one, or is she going to be, like, a youthful Madame Xanadu?
I actually thought she could do both.
Really?
Like, both in one episode. Like, that's the
Interesting.
thing. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Because I like both versions
I mean, I was in
of
as
her.
soon as you said Justice League Dark. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
well, I can get behind
Yeah.
this.
See, the one thing that's kind of sad about the way DC, between the movies and the TV is that I think seeing on screen Zatanna and Batman would be really cool.
I do too.
Because they have some good stories in the comic books when they team up together, and I think that
You
would
could
be...
replace that. I mean, there's plenty of characters. They've replaced, like, the Justice
I know,
League with this
but-
secondary Justice League,
Yeah.
I like the idea of...
The Great Lakes Justice League is
The Great
what
Lakes.
we're working with
Right.
now, so...
I like when Batman, a man with no abilities or powers, has to team up with something nearly unexplainable when he has to work with magic and accept that it just does that.
So she
It's a
can
lot of
team up
fun.
with Arrow.
So she could team up with Arrow.
Yeah.
I mean, that might make Arrow a lot better.
I mean,
so.
maybe he'll just shoot stuff with some arrows and roll
What's
around.
Batman gonna do? Throw batarangs at stuff.
He can detect.
Okay.
That's when they do things really well. Is when it's like
Well,
a mystery.
Arrow has hacking arrows, so
Wow.
he doesn't.
Those
have
are
to detect.
felicities, all right.
Well, I mean, he shoots them.
He shoots them.
So yeah, Andrew Lincoln is playing Dr. Light in this. There's a bug right in my face. And Matt Ryan's coming back for Constantine. For Swamp Thing, I went with the actor who I personally want to see, not the one that is going to be, the easiest to get on board with this, but the one I want to see. And that is Ron Perlman. I need him to
I've
play
cast
Swamp
him
Thing.
before in our movie. I think when
Yeah.
we did the Justice League Dark
Yeah.
movie.
Oh, did you?
I think
Yeah,
so.
you did.
That's
But it's
crazy.
just,
I didn't remember that.
I didn't think that I didn't cast him because I didn't think that Netflix or that sort of a Netflix show they'd be able to get him on a TV show. So
That's the thing.
The
is, like,
thing is-
that's why I joke about Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
Like, he's great. He's fantastic.
and he did Daredevil, which was a TV show, but
But
it's a little different.
It's a little different, but I think you have better odds.
He's doing a TV show right now. He's
Oh,
in
is he?
Emerald City, which debuts in January.
Interesting.
That's interesting.
And he was also on Criminal Intent, Law and Order.
He must be in between stuff with Del Toro.
No, that's Vincent D'Onofrio, not
Oh,
Ron Perlman.
okay.
Ron Perlman has done TV before, and he hasn't been a lead in a movie for a while. So this isn't like completely out of the realm of
No, it's not.
possibility here.
I just think the CW could never afford Ron Perlman.
It would be
I don't
tough.
know.
I mean, if he's like a guest on like 2 episodes a season, maybe I could see that. I think that would be a lot of their budget, though.
Yeah, that would
Unfortunately.
be. Yeah. There's going to be no magic this season because we got Ron Perlman.
Yeah, no CG. We're not doing anything, but we got Ron Perlman.
So the actress,
Is your Swamp Thing going to be CG?
half and half.
Okay.
I think on the CW you got to balance it.
Yeah. I'm finding the actress. I forgot her name. So since CW has one trend of hiring ex-Glee actors, I wanted to go with another pattern, start a new trend
Okay.
where they are also hiring ex-Supernatural actors. Because
I mean, that's not ridiculous for the CW.
No,
They
Katie
pull
Cassidy
shows
was
all the
on
time.
there.
Yeah.
So Google Tessa. She was a Reaper on the show, and she was fantastic. She came back for quite a few episodes, and she was portrayed by Lindsay McKeown. I don't know how to pronounce the last name. It's spelled weird, but I loved her. She's currently working. I looked up a lot of different actresses for TV, and she's still going strong. So
Cool.
that's it. That's my whole pitch. I'm done.
Dogsthorpe wants to go after the bug that attacked you. So.
Oh, my hero.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Jordan does not want Ron Perlman doing your show because he has to be sitting on his couch waiting for Hellboy 3 to happen.
Right. He's going to be
So,
sitting there for a while,
Long time.
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Long time. I don't think it's going to have to.
Sorry, bud.
Yeah.
He's currently working on that Punisher 2 with Thomas Jane, too. So
Right. Yeah.
good luck on that.
Who's working on that?
Anyway, what's your pitch, Derek?
Yeah.
All right, so basically my idea was that in the first season, Starfire lands on Earth. She's basically found during the crash by Kara, because...
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, I came up with this idea before I saw the first episode of season 2 of Supergirl, so that's a little disappointing.
Where the exact same thing happened. Yeah.
But I don't know who that guy's going to be yet, so, I'm an episode behind. Anyway, but that was kind of my idea, is that it would crash, of course, but her ship would be very, very different. It's not a Kryptonian ship, so Kara would have no idea what's going on, and Jean would want to, go in guns blazing, because you can do that. And
well, he can.
He can. And basically, she would come out and be like totally confused by what's going on, because she's this, super happy, nice, wonderful person who doesn't understand a thing that's going on our planet. So you could have some fun with that. I did expect the series opener to have that crossover with Supergirl, kind of like what they did with Flash, with Arrow.
Yeah.
So you're going to introduce her in mid-season of a Supergirl series?
No, she's going to get a season, like an actual episode 1 launch.
So it's not really like Flash and...
No, but Supergirl and Jean would be there as kind of like that springboard in the first episode to get.
Wouldn't it make more sense to do it in a Supergirl episode?
I don't want to do it that way.
Okay,
I want her to get a full season from the get go, because of some tie-in stuff I want to do. This would be for next season. Okay.
So season 3 of Supergirl, season 1 of Starfire.
Right. Okay. What guy is Starfire? I don't know what's happening in chat right now. Sorry, I gotta take a drink.
Maybe the guy that crashed in episode 1 is Starfire.
Oh! I don't.
He's wearing way too many clothes. Way too much clothing.
Her costume in the New 52 is actually pretty solid.
Yeah, I don't know what. I just know the 80s one.
It's not like that.
Okay.
So anyway, kind of what I wanted to take advantage of with her is the relationship with Kara. Have the two of them hit it off really well. Kind of have some struggling about what is she going to do? How is she going to fit in with day-to-day life? I mean, people have accepted Superman in this world, but they still don't know that he's Clark Kent. And Supergirl, people don't know that it's Kara. But Kori is Kori. She's orange, and she's an alien, and that's very apparent for her because they don't look like humans like Kryptonians do. So I want her to have to deal with that. She can't just, is she going to just have a job and an apartment?
Does she crash land in Jersey? Because an orange person would blend in there.
That's true. You wouldn't have to worry about that.
In the DC universe, there aren't too many real cities.
Sorry for our listeners in Jersey. We don't mean to insult you.
Look,
Yes,
I lived in Jersey, all right? I got a brother in Jersey. Jersey's not that bad, as long as you're not in Giants territory. Anyway, moving on. So I wanted to kind of deal with that. How is she going to integrate in with society where she can't hide? That was going to be a big part of the first half of the season. And then what I wanted to have in the mid-season is actually do a crossover with Legends of Tomorrow. And the reason I wanted to do that is because you have all these different worlds and all these different Earths, you can actually bring in a really interesting character, which is her daughter. So in Kingdom Come, which of course that Earth doesn't exist yet in the CW, but it easily could, Starfire and Nightwing have a kid. And their kid is one of those supers that is young and is
dumb and creating all this terrible world,
more or less, yeah. And so I thought it would be really interesting, not necessarily use the Kingdom Come storyline, but use aspects from that universe to have her daughter be in existence in this other Earth. And so instead of Legends of Tomorrow just being a time travel show, have it also begin to cross the multiverse as well. It gives them more to do. You don't have to time travel all the time, because I love time travel, but that gets a little redundant. There's only so many times you can change the past, Barry.
An infinite number of times, I would imagine.
Before it gets old, for the audience.
That's true.
So I wanted them to do some multiverse crossing, and I thought you could have a lot of fun with that. And then, towards the end of the first season, you could start sprinkling in some of the Teen Titans. Maybe not Nightwing right away, but I think it would be cool to have Dick Grayson show up and try to recruit Starfire into that group of people. Cyborg obviously can't be there since he's in the movies.
So who's going to replace Cyborg?
I don't know that you necessarily need to replace Cyborg. I mean, if you have Nightwing, Raven, Beast Boy, and you want a fourth, I feel like that's a nice...
How are they going to do Beast Boy on the CW?
What do you mean?
Budget-wise. Seems like that would take a lot. of CG to make him turn into every different animal.
I mean, like that's why it's not a Teen Titans show. It's a
Okay.
Starfire
So like
show.
one episode of the season, he's going to be.
I mean, maybe a couple. I mean, right? Yeah, it wouldn't be a season-long arc. It would be maybe towards the end of season 1, you meet Dick Grayson. He's trying to recruit her into this group called the Titans. I don't want them to call it the Teen Titans. I just want it to be Titans, which works with DC Rebirth because there is a Titans comic book now. Different group of characters, yes, I know, but this is what I'm going with. And so that way, when you come into season 2, assuming that you got a season 2, you could start using some of the Teen Titan stuff more. Maybe she teams up with Raven on a particular episode to do a mission or something like that, and she can cross over with Supergirl and things. So that was kind of my main point of going with all of that stuff. You could do some other interesting things. She was part of the Red Hood and the Outlaws series during the New 52, so you could have Red Hood show up with Jason Todd. If you wanted to play more in the hardcore DC universe with the Bat family, you could do that without ever showing Batman. Who's in the movies?
Well, Jason Todd. The dead Robin was Jason Todd. So
I mean, until they say it.
Yeah, they did say it. Zack Snyder has said that it was Jason Todd.
Not in the movie. I mean, until it's actually done in the movie, it could change. If they decide to change it in Ben Affleck's Batman movie, then it doesn't really matter what he said in an interview, is my point. So you could have Jason Todd show up. If he's dead in the movie universe, then I guess you could use him in the Supergirl universe, couldn't you?
Probably, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
or Barry could just time travel and save him. Not that he ever does that.
Let's not forget that we do have 2 Flashes, and they're both Barry Allen. It's not like one of them is a different Flash. And so having 2 Jason Todds I don't think is a really big deal, especially if one of them's already dead. So I don't really have a problem with that.
Unless they decide to go with the Batman movie that's in the past and have it be
that's possible.
the Red Hood. Yeah.
Right, that's definitely possible. But I don't know that yet, and that's what
true.
I had to go off of.
That's true.
So there you go.
That's good. I'd love to see Red Hood. I think Red Hood would do well on that. Would have been a good pitch, probably a Red Hood show. But
yeah, I think a Red Hood show would do pretty well.
Or like it would be like a Punisher show, basically. Just an anti-hero kind of.
I thought it might be kind of cool instead to have
be like season 1 of Arrow.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah,
pretty close. Maybe a little more violent, but
instead to keep it kind of bright, because I like DC's kind of bright focus they're doing on Flash and Supergirl, is that you could do Starfire and Dick Grayson as Nightwing team up to take down this character, and they find out that it's Jason Todd as Red Hood. They don't know that yet because he died, so to speak.
Right.
So
dun, dun, dun.
You can play around with that type of stuff where you can show the dark grittiness in a show that would normally be bright and happy, because that's who Starfire is. She's a very bright and positive character, but you have to deal with serious stuff sometimes. So that's how you can bring that in.
That's a good question. Yours is a lighter tone show. Is yours going to be pretty light, or is it going to be darker?
Dark.
You're going to be like Arrow dark or darker?
Like first, second season of Arrow dark. People are going to die. There will be happy, funny moments.
Right.
But Zatanna walks the line a lot. She's not completely against killing her villains, and she's definitely not going to feel any sort of remorse on anybody who is a known rapist. So
right. Yeah, anytime you introduce something like sexual assault into a TV show, it takes it to a little bit darker place. Oh, yeah. There's a reason why Jessica Jones is the darkest Netflix character.
Right. Now my hope would be for the show that it would run for a couple of seasons and be able to launch a Titans show.
That's a good idea.
So, because I know that they tried to do a Titans show, TNT had talked about it, but it's a difficult show to pull off because it's expensive. You're right. Between Starfire special effects and Beast Boy special effects, you got to do some cool stuff with Raven too. Nightwing's the only one who doesn't need special effects.
Yeah.
So maybe in that world, Dick Grayson, because of his skills that Bruce Wayne taught him, maybe Dick Grayson knows all these people's secret identities and knows where to find them, but he hasn't met them yet either. And this beautiful bright orange alien comes down and everybody wants to know who she is or get involved. And
so does Batman exist in your universe?
Well, yes, he does. And the reason I'm okay with that is because they did reference Gotham on Supergirl.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like...
And Legends of Tomorrow last season, they did the whole... I've seen Men of Steel fall and Dark Knights.
That was a little more vague, but I don't see how you could get away with mentioning Gotham in a universe where Batman can't exist. that seems like a bad idea. So I'm assuming that Batman does exist in some capacity, but we're never going to see him.
But he's not going to be crossing over like Superman did Supergirl.
I mean, look, if they would let us do that, that'd be awesome, right? But I just don't see them letting that happen. I mean, they did it with Superman, so I was wrong. I never expected them to do that.
Agreed.
But, my idea would be, while it would be cool to see Dick Grayson kind of build the Titans, I think you run the risk of it being too much like what they're doing in the Justice League movie, which is why I wanted it to be more of the Titans already existed as a group, and maybe something happened to Cyborg, and maybe Cyborg graduated and joined the Justice League, so he's no longer on the Teen Titans, because that's a thing that happened in the cartoons and the comic books. As the characters grew up, they graduated to different levels.
But you're not calling it Teen Titans, you're calling it Titans.
I'm just calling it Titans. But, I mean, look, if you're on the Titans and the Justice League calls you up to the major leagues, you probably say yes.
Well, in Young Justice, Rocket and Zatanna did.
Right?
And Arsenal, or Red Arrow. Or
Yeah, Red Arrow did.
Yeah, I mean, so maybe Cyborg he's promoted. He's called up to the big leagues. They want to fill that spot. And so, hey, this bright orange alien crashes and she's got the powers of Supergirl, and we can't recruit Supergirl because she's not interested in that. So they try and recruit Starfire. So that's why
you're basically pitching a whole
Titan show.
Yeah, you're pitching a Titans show, but also a Starfire show. You're disguising it as a Starfire show.
It is a Starfire show.
It is a plan. It is a 10-year plan.
He's the Kevin Feige of the CW TV universe.
This is my DC's CWU, where it's a Starfire show that is used towards the end of the season. I mean, I want this to be towards the end of the first season, so you've watched 20-some episodes.
So is her show going to continue?
Yes.
When Teen Titans Titans is on?
I hadn't gotten that far.
Okay.
Because it depends whether or not she says yes, and I have to think about whether or not she would join the team at that point.
Obviously she would.
But maybe not. She's just joined Earth. She's got, maybe she's buddying up with Supergirl more often. And she doesn't need to do that. But the idea would be that the first season is definitely a Starfire show with the Teen Titans kind of showing up towards the end. And I really just wanted it to be Nightwing. I don't even want the other characters to show up in season 1. And then in season 2, they have to kind of cross paths a couple of times. But she would have 2 solid seasons before there was even a Titans show.
I have to say, this is just me and my shipping. I've always hated Nightwing and Starfire. I much prefer...
So Derek's going right to a place that you don't want to go.
Well, that makes perfect sense.
I much prefer Nightwing and Barbara Gordon Batgirl. They're such a cuter couple, and I loved that he stuck by her when she was handicapped.
It does say a lot about his character, whereas he's seen as pretty shallow in a lot of interpretations. So,
but I think that's cool. I just, I think doing Batgirl would be harder from a rights perspective.
You're totally right.
But that would be cool. But then the trick with doing a Batgirl show is you run the risk of it just being a female Arrow, because it's another character with no powers who's kind of gritty.
That's why they tried Birds of Prey. They had multiple Batgirls.
Well, that was a long time ago. That was before CW figured out what they were doing. I think a Birds of Prey show today would have been much better.
I completely agree. But CW and UPN, they didn't have Birds of Prey. It was like
it wasn't
TNT or TBS.
Oh, my mistake.
I think.
I thought it was on Warner Brothers. Okay.
Anyway, Ryan.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Mine's really convoluted. So, not that I ever do that. I never have convoluted plots in any of my shows, but a lot of this is ripped straight from the comic book. So, okay. So
comic books are never convoluted.
Never, especially Swamp Thing and magic stuff. So,
right.
So a lot of the first season is gonna, like I said, probably half of the first season is going to be about establishing where she came from and how she came into being. Which, if you're not familiar with that, let me enlighten you. There was a floating spirit called Sprout, who tried to find a body from a recently deceased person and was basically given a body through Abby Arcane having a baby. The way that baby happened was Swamp Thing possessed John Constantine because of John Constantine gave Swamp Thing permission, because Abby Arcane was Swamp Thing's wife. I don't know if there was ever an actual marriage, but they were together for sure. And so he took over John Constantine's body and did the deed with Abby through John Constantine's body and impregnated her with the Sprout, which is Tefe Holland. But John Constantine, at the same time, had a demon's blood in his veins because of a prior thing that happened to him that would make it even more convoluted, so I'm not going to dive into. So basically, Tefe is going to be part demon, part Constantine, part Swamp Thing, and part Abby.
How many seasons do you need to explain that?
It's going to be, I would say, the whole first season to basically establish how she came into being. But, I mean, that's only going to be half of the first season. The other half, I didn't plan out very thoroughly because that one is going to have to change a lot from the comic book, because in the comic book there's like this weird thing where she goes so murderous that they have to basically mind wipe her and put her consciousness into a different person's body and have her raised by...
We can save that for season 2.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get into that as much. So because it's kind of a family show, kind of based on a whole family thing, I thought it would be interesting because there's a lot of villains in Swamp Thing that are related to Abby. So I thought it would be interesting to have somebody like Patchwork Man, who's actually Abby's father, who's basically thrown together from like a bunch of corpses and pieced together, kind of like Frankenstein's monster. Or William Arcane, who is Abby's brother, who has control over the Rot, which is basically the opposite of the green.
I feel like we need a family tree here.
There's a
pun not intended.
There is a lot of family plants happening here. Yeah, so I mean, it's going to be a little convoluted. I think it's hard to pitch, but I think in a show over a season of like 20-something episodes, it would be a lot more succinct. If they can explain a multiverse in The Flash, then I feel like this isn't that crazy. It's kind of crazy when you're trying to explain this huge thing in
But multiverse
5 minutes.
is one sentence. There are parallel universes.
Okay. Love triangles and love rectangles.
What?
Have been, that's been a thing. So
chat right now is just great.
Yeah.
So let me catch up on chat real quick for everybody. So first off, It's Mother Uckers wants to give Ray both second and third place, because your characters also match some of Ryan's characters. So I don't even get third place. I guess I'm like fourth or fifth or something like that out of 3. So that's really cool. To which I replied that was lame, and then Jordan said Ryan's face is lame.
That's kind of rude.
So
I don't know what I did to deserve that.
It's kind of rough. Doc Rev says it's going to take you like 3 seasons to develop your characters.
No. It'll be a first season thing.
And Dogsthorpe is just so lost and thinks it's convoluted.
Okay.
So, and It's Mother Uckers agrees and says that you're overcomplicating it.
I'm not really overcomplicating it. Okay, so to simplify it, Swamp Thing and Abby need to have a baby because there's a spirit that's out there and it's going to be destroyed. And so Swamp Thing possesses John Constantine, who has demon blood in his veins, and has sex with Abby and impregnates her for the baby of Abby, John Constantine, the demon, and So it's not that complicated. It's just
I got you.
You'll understand it in a TV show because it's not being explained in 5 minutes. It's being explained over a season. As far as casting, because you kind of touched on that.
A little bit, yeah.
For Tefe, I cast someone who I'm not super familiar with, but fit in the whole CW thing. Her name's Emma Roberts. She really has the look I was going for. She was in Scream Queens, American Horror Story, and We're the Millers. For Swamp Thing, he's going to be fully practical. If they did it in a TV show in like the 60s or 70s, then they can do it in a TV show now.
So, fun fact about Emma Roberts, she was arrested a few years ago because she punched out her boyfriend, Evan Peters. So, cool on the whole murderous thing.
Hey, it's perfect. Yeah, she's
works.
got that. She looked like when I saw a picture, she looked like she had like you could believe it. She had a dark side in her too.
She
so
does.
I feel like that would work.
Was the picture her mugshot?
It was not, but it could have been. So for Swamp Thing, this is a guy that I've cast before. Nathan Jones, who was the really big dude in Jet Li's Fearless, the American O'Brien, and he was also in Mad Max as like the huge dude that was with.
Okay.
He's going to be the physical, like stature-wise Swamp Thing with the prosthetics and everything. Because I feel like his face really looks like you could just add some prosthetics and make him look like a monster. And I'm going to have Travis Willingham, who's a pretty accomplished voice actor. He did Full Metal Alchemist. He was Roy in Full Metal Alchemist. He was also Thor in Ultimate Spider-Man. Do the voice for Swamp Thing, so we're gonna have different people doing the voice in the. No,
that's good. It's very like the Hulk TV show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I feel like that's the only way you're gonna accomplish that because Nathan Jones' voice is not
No.
that intimidating. It's like a big dude with a non-intimidating voice. And then Abby Arcane, I'm going to have Emily Deschanel from Bones play her. I think that she can pull that off.
Nice.
The white hair, like, kind of
That's cute.
glue that holds the family together kind of thing. So, yeah.
All right. Well, that's pretty intense.
Yeah.
Let's see. In chat, Dogsthorpe wants the Spark Notes version, which I think you just gave. So that's pretty good. Jordan says that it sounds like a DC comic soap opera.
Exactly. Like that's what we need. That's
pretty much what
different
it
than
is.
everything else. So
I don't know. Arrow is pretty much a soap opera.
It's gone that way, but it didn't start out that way.
No, it did not.
And this would be an actual good soap opera with interesting stuff happening,
Yeah.
rather than one character undermining all the other characters.
Soap operas aren't always bad. It's,
No,
you know,
not at all. That's a really good. Actually, I really like that description of it because that's probably the route I would go with it.
And It's Mother Uckers has a whole plan for you. First 4 episodes are exposition to explain the main characters in the current setting, and then 1 episode of conceiving
a full hour of Swamp Thing on Constantine, on Demon, on Abby. Loving.
Good times. And then the rest of the season, you can just do like flashbacks and stuff.
Okay,
Basically,
I'm good with that.
I mean, but you can start every episode with the same lie that, like, Arrow and Flash give us a lie.
I'm the fastest man alive.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot the
you're
best
not
part.
even the fastest man this episode.
The crossover is going to be with Arrow. And so it turns out that Swamp Thing, the fern, the infamous Tumblr fern in the Arrow Cave, was actually a gift from Abby to Felicity, and she put it in the Arrow Cave, but it was to spy on Arrow because of the abuse of the super medicine plant that he had in Season 1 that would heal all the ills and also healed him from death in Season 3 in the tea. And Swamp Thing doesn't like that he's abusing this, so there's going to be a crossover in the mid-episode or
like
mid-season
that.
thing. So
You're welcome, Tumblr.
Yeah, you're welcome, Tumblr. Your fern is going to get a much cooler explanation than what it has right now.
A guest starring role in a
exactly.
crossover episode.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's already been established in the Arrowverse because it's there.
So what's your tagline going to be? Arrow is, I spent 5 years on a deserted island, which was a lie. Flash is the fastest man alive. What's yours?
I have a screwed up life. I want to kill people, but I don't want to kill people. And my dad's
true.
a Swamp Thing.
No, that can't be true.
Oh, okay.
You have to be hyperbolic and false.
Oh, I'm totally sane, and I don't love killing people. And
I don't love
my dad
killing.
is not a giant plant that talks and has sex through another person's body with a demon person and my mom. Is that too long?
Jordan wants Swamp Thing to have Arrow's baby.
Okay. You can write fan fiction about that on Tumblr, and they might actually do that. Tweet it to Mark Guggenheim, and he'll make it happen.
Wow. All right. So, anything else you guys want to add about
What's
your shows?
your tagline?
Oh, I don't have one.
Yeah.
I was
He
you
was
have to
forcing
do
me to
it.
come up with a tagline
No,
on the
do
spot.
it.
But mine doesn't cross. Mine's not in that
Do
timeline.
it.
I don't have one.
That
Mine's
was
in a
my
different
original
I
Earth.
know. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, microphone people.
Mine's on a different Earth, so we don't have taglines.
Supergirl had one. She was like, "My name is Kara Zor-El."
And I am
Supergirl.
Supergirl. All right. My name's Coriander, and I'm Starfire.
I am not a spice.
I am not a spice.
All right. Any final?
What's yours?
Yeah, what's yours? All right, fine.
You don't get off the hook.
Why are we yelling?
Well, I already made this comment earlier, so it works. My name is Zatanna Zatara, and I am the most powerful woman on Earth. It's a lie there. It's
That's
something
true.
she thinks,
That's
but
true. I'm
Okay, I
I'm
like
pretty
it.
sure Tefe Holland could take her, but
That's
whatever.
crossover, man.
That's true.
crossover.
That's true. We'll
like
have
it.
some arbitrary our fight club between our characters. Yeah. It'll
All
just be
right.
a bunch of plants coming in and strangling everybody.
So as we start to close out, because we're running out of time, I want to bring up something really weird, just to kind of throw a quick response thing out there for
gosh.
people. What do you think about the news that Leonardo DiCaprio is doing a gritty live-action Captain Planet movie?
I already
Ryan,
told
go.
you.
I mean, I love Captain Planet. What was the character that had the Captain Pollution? Is that what
Yeah,
it was?
Captain
The yellow
Pollution.
guy?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
As long as he's the main villain, I am in like Flint. I want this to happen. I will kickstart it, whatever they need. I will give them money. Crowdsource it.
Ray?
I think it's a fun idea. I've been waiting for this for a long time, ever
Maybe the
since
Arrowverse?
Don Cheadle's.
Oh gosh, that was so good.
But it doesn't surprise me one bit. Leonardo DiCaprio chooses very serious roles, but he is a geek and he funds a lot of movies that I tend to be more of a fan of. Sorry, dude, I'm not a fan of your bear messing around stuff, but
The Revenant. Well, he's only producing this one, right? So to your point, now there were casting rumors a long time ago that they were going to do a Captain Planet movie with Will Smith as Captain Planet.
Oh, I
my
thought
God,
he was
that's
going to
so
be
great.
Earth. Kwame, is that his name?
Kwame.
Kwame. Yeah.
Kwame.
No, he's too old for that.
No, he's not. Who says they have to be kids?
I say you just translate the Power Rangers cast over and you
I agree
have
with that.
them.
No. I want to see Will Smith be Captain Planet. I think it'd be awesome. Doc Sorp says he is our hero.
I'm going to take pollution down to 0. He's our powers magnified, and he's fighting on the planet's side.
That was awesome.
I could do the rest of
Yeah.
it, but I'm not going to because I don't have time.
It's all good. Now, we record this on Tuesday, so it's October 18th.
But not Will Smith.
No, it's going to be Will Smith, Doc Rev. I love him. For those of you who are Pokemon fans, go to the 3DS eShop. You can download a free demo of Pokemon Sun and Moon. And if you play through the whole thing, you get Ash Greninja for free, which you can't get in the full game. So I got to download it. I got to go check that out. Anything else you guys want to talk about tonight? Ray, do you want to plug the award nomination thing?
Just be active on all of our social medias. Vote for your favorite thing. It does no good to argue with the nominees, but...
Yeah, so when you vote...
But why didn't Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. come on? You did 4 DC shows and 2 Marvel shows. Come on.
I didn't make them...
I'm just saying.
That's all Ray over there.
It's okay.
Way to pass it back.
It's okay. We could have taken Arrow off because we obviously know that's not going to win.
I honestly think I probably could have taken off Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. because no.
Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Legends of Tomorrow.
How many shows are we combining here?
Agents of
Jeez.
Tomorrow.
That's
Actually,
right.
Agents of Tomorrow, that sounds like a good name for a sci-fi show.
Come on, like...
But when you vote, please, we have it on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook. Go out
I'm
and
counting
vote.
every vote on everything. Just do it.
But vote once for something pictured. If you vote 3 times for 3 different things, or you vote for something that's not one of the nominees, then your vote doesn't really help
And I will
us make a
berate
decision.
you in the comments.
So, yeah, we really want your opinion for what our nominees are. So go out and vote. We've been posting new stuff every day, so there's a lot of categories. You don't have to vote in all of them. Vote in one, vote in all, whatever you want to do.
And then like them and share them and get us
Yes.
some hits out there.
Yeah, please do that too. That would be really helpful.
I have something I'd like to plug too.
Please.
So we know you guys out there work hard for your money. You know, you're working hard for the money. We know that, okay? But here's what we do for you every week. We come together. We spend on this. I mean, I spent a few hours on this, working on this, thinking about my fans out there. I know you're all my fans specifically, trying to come up with something cool that you guys would like. And Derek and Rachel do this too. And Derek puts a lot of time into planning these, and Rachel has put a lot of time into these as well. And she's putting a lot of time into the award thing. All we ask, $5 a month, $1 a month, something. Help us fund new equipment. Help us. Get the things that we want to do, get to make the show better for all of you. I mean, we care about you guys and we want to give you the best content that we can. So go to patreon.com/griddaily and just click that $5, maybe the $10, maybe the $50 button. I mean, if you click the $50 button, then I will custom 3D print you something really cool and ship it to you. And yeah, just
Sorry. I thought...
help us out. We're putting this together for you every week. We had a lot of fun in chat tonight. I was watching and kind of chatting along in there.
I was not.
We want to make this fun for everybody and get as many people in here as we can. So, patreon.com/griddaily.
Yeah.
Press that $5 button at least. Probably higher would be nice.
It helps us out a lot. We really appreciate everybody who donates. Our highest contributor is Jordan, so thank you, Jordan, for helping us out. For those who watch this on YouTube and you see that the quality may have increased, hopefully if this worked, it's because we're testing some new equipment, and some that was partially paid for by Patreon money. So every little bit helps offset some costs. So we really would appreciate that. But if you can't, join us live. Join us live at twitch.tv/griddaily every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central. We've been chatting with a lot of people tonight. It's been really fun. So thank you to everyone who does join us on a regular basis. And please come in and talk to us. If not, you can always comment on the posts. This goes to griddaily.com. It goes to @griddaily on Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr.
I'll give you away my doodles.
Ray doodles during the show. Maybe that's not a bad idea. Do people like doodles? I don't know. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Never appropriate.
If our Patreon stuff sucks, then tell us so that we can change it to something you want, you know?
And we're on iTunes and Google Play. I don't care what device you have to listen to the podcast.
You
Please
can listen
subscribe.
to it.
We're out there. If you're on iTunes, drop us a review. It's the number one place where people listen to podcasts. That's still true to this day. So if you leave us a review, I promise we will give you a shout out on the episode, thanking you for that review. And it doesn't even have to be 5 stars. I promise we will give you a shout out regardless of the review.
If it's 1 star, we're gonna make fun of you.
We will definitely give you a shout out if it's 1 star. But please, help us out. Share the links, share the posts, vote in our nominations. We appreciate all your support.
Tracking the votes now, people.
Next week is our Halloween episode, so you definitely want to tune in because...
Will anything crazy be happening?
Yes!
Who knows? You have to tune in to find out. Rachel just gave it away, but we're going to pretend she didn't.
We can promise you this. If you watch the episode, you'll have some fun with it. So please join us next week. You can join us live on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central at twitch.tv/griddaily, or you can watch it later on Twitch. We save the broadcast, or you can go to our YouTube channel. Subscribe there. Give us a thumbs up. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. We will catch you next time.
Bye. I always forget when I wave that people